Well, hey, everybody, we're back with a brand new episode of the Spitball Media Podcast. This is where we spin out the top entertainment stories that we've been following for the week. My name is John Draper. Of course, Shah is here. Shah, how are things in Philly?
It's hot and steamy. We've got a thunderstorm, which I've never been happier to get a thunderstorm because holy shit, it's been dry.
You just said that, and the whole sky crackled when you said thunderstorm.
I got that power, man.
I don't know if you guys heard that or not.
This is
but
what
yeah,
I do.
super, super hot. And of course, speaking of hot, there's no hotter man in the Midwest than Bisho Brian. Bisho Brian, how's things holding down in the old state of Ohio?
It feels like a bum's nutsack outside. And I can't tell you how I know what a bum's nutsack feels like, but just take my word for it.
You can. Well, look, we were all in college at one point. If you're joining us for the first time, thank you so much for checking us out. We really appreciate it. But if you go to patreon.com, is it backslash break the app or backslash Spitball Media B show? I don't even know if I heard.
It's still break the app. I'm working on changing the Twitter, but someone already has Spitball Media, so we have to figure that out. But the Patreon's tricky.
Okay. So break the app. Of course, our previous name, you get this show and you immediately get a bonus show. That's right. It's not going to be on YouTube. It's only exclusively for Patreon members. And it's where we continue a lot of fun topics, right, Shall we really flesh out a lot of our favorite topics on that Patreon show?
Yeah, we do Q&As. We just did one this past weekend.
That's correct.
So go listen to that shit. And we have a new post up so you can ask questions for the end of this month.
Yes, and B-Show, fun time on that August Q&A, wasn't it? That was a good one.
That was one of the best Q&As we've had in a while. I mean, we always say that, and then another one comes up. Like we got some new Patreon members throwing some great questions in there, and it's a mix of everything. Really, we got some wrestling, we got some entertainment, we got some off the wall shit. It's really cool, man, and it's all made by Patreon members. You can check that out, patreon.com// break the app.
Yeah, and it's just $5 shots. Still the best bargain in the business. You can't even get a cold 2-liter bottle of soda from a pizzeria for that money.
Yeah, I mean, dude, my coffee, $3.38 right here.
That's a small coffee, dude.
That is a small coffee for fucking gas station coffee.
Oof.
Right? Oh, it's Wawa. It's a little better than gas station, but I mean, technically still gas station coffee.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Wait, that's like Wawa, the cheap coffee?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. The cheap coffee is that much money?
Hell
not like $1 or something. I don't buy coffee, so like,
what's $1 anymore, dude?
I don't know.
Nothing exists that's $1. What exists?
I honestly don't. I don't know. B-Show, can you get anything where you live for $1?
No, like the dollar store is like $1.50 store now. It's like Five Below is like anything. I don't know. I don't know how people still do it, but I mean, a roll of tinfoil is probably $3. I don't know.
No, it's more. Yeah,
no, it's more.
In a dollar store.
It's way more, dude.
Wait, it's like $7.
There you go.
Tinfoil's expensive.
Like I was trying to buy like fancy hamburger buns because me and my wife were buying like fancy hamburgers, and I went to pick them up, and they were like $5.29, and I'm like,
cheap. What? That's cheap.
In a supermarket,
dude, I got
like fucking bodega. That's a bodega.
No, I know. I got potato buns for hot dog. Some like bullshit regular ass ones. That was $5 something.
What? Good Lord! Wow,
not
our
even
Patreon
the fancy ones. It's fucking garbage.
Yeah, not even that Pepperidge Farms.
Yeah. No.
No, he goes
some King's Hawaiian.
King's Hawaiian. That King's Hawaiian
that's expensive.
shit.
Yeah, that's probably like $6-7 here, dude.
Dude, it's gonna be like triple digits soon. Like it's just gonna be like, like $30. Oh, Joe Punches is in there. What's up, Mr. Punches? So yeah, people, go to patreon.com/ break the app. It's the most affordable premium program in the business, and we always have a good time there. We also get to play video clips there, which we can't do here anymore. So we're gonna be doing a bunch of trailer shit in there tonight. There's a lot of trailers that we wanted to watch together. And thank you to the many Patreons who've been supporting the show through its transitional period. And you guys seem to be having a lot of fun with us, and we're having a lot of fun with you. So interesting week in the entertainment world. There was a couple of stories that broke today that are fucking enormous. One of them is a trial that I knew was going on, but I'm not that familiar with the guy outside of as most people would know. But this is, as we record this a few hours ago, it broke. TV star Danny Masterson, who I think Masterson, who at one point I think was married to somebody quite famous or was in a long-term relationship with another TV star. I'm not sure. I got to look that up. But he's a wacky Scientologist guy. Shah, he's in a cult, this is going to be one of your favorite stories. So he was on trial for raping multiple women, Shah, in the Church of Scientology while sleeping. And spoiler alert, guilty, and he was sentenced to 30 years in prison. What a fucking insane turn of events for a guy who was on a. I never watched the show. I just got to ask, Shad, did you ever watch that 70s show? I never watched it in my life.
No. Oh, this guy? I know this
Yeah,
guy.
dude, of course. Yeah. He's been around a long time.
He's a cult. Okay. All right. No, I'm not into TV shows, especially like those 70s show. I didn't like what's his name? The punk guy. What was his name?
Are you talking about Ashton Kutcher?
Ashton Kutcher. Yeah, I was never an Ashton Kutcher fan. I didn't like 2.5 Men. None of it worked for me. But yeah, I definitely know this guy though.
Jesus Christ.
Danny
This guy, it was a huge show. I mean, it was in syndication. They tried to reboot. They just started to do a reboot of it.
Very corny. Very it's cringy.
Yeah, it's very.
None of the jokes landed with me.
Well, a lot of people from that show went on to be quite famous and have like very good careers, like Ashton Kutcher, and of course, what's her face, Meg. What's her name? B show. She's hot as balls.
Mila Kunis. That's one of my
Mila
favorites.
Kunis. Mila Kunis is.
Swan.
Oh my God, she's brilliant in Black Swan. But she's been in some cool movies. She was in Ted. She's of course Meg from Family Guy. She's Meg.
I love her eyes.
She's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
She's got gigantic eyes.
Yeah. B show. Did you ever watch the TV show?
Yeah, it was I think it came out right when I was like 13, 14. And it was one of the biggest shows on cable. And it was something like, if I'm going to sit down and watch TV on a fucking Wednesday night or whatever it was, I'd rather be that than some other lame shit on CBS. So plus it's like a Midwestern type of show too, set in the 70s. So it was really relatable for me, my brothers and stuff. Trying to watch it back now probably would not hit.
I don't even know if this is going to be on TV. I'm not even trying to be a dick. I don't know how they navigate this because this guy is a fucking star on the show. He's not the star, but it's an ensemble cast.
And he was there longer than Topher Grace, who ended up leaving in like the
Topher Grace. He was the top billing star on the show.
I know, but he left like third to last season, and this dude was still around.
So he was getting top billing?
I don't know if he's getting top billing. I'm just saying he was there longer than, as long as anybody on the show.
And Wilmer Valderrama, right?
Yeah, Wilmer Valderrama.
Now, who's the redhead girl from that show? She's not ugly either. Who is she?
No, God, no.
You know what I'm talking about, Shah? She's like real skinny. She looks like very 70s, 60s. She was also on
Orange is the New Black.
Orange is the New Black. She was the co-star Orange, and she was the second banana there as a second.
Laura
lead.
Prepon.
Laurie Prepon.
Prepon. Okay, there you go.
Okay, Laurie Prepon. So you got some. These people had some good careers. She was cute though. I can't front. Like she has major sex appeal. This girl when she was on that show. Look at her. I mean, she's
even now though. She's still
good. Well. Yeah, Orange is the New Black. People were like drooling over her, and Orange is the New Black. But most people knew her from this. Clearly, that's how she got the show.
Well, there you go.
Wow. I mean, look, this is such a crazy story. The dude, Laurie Prepon, I believe, is also a Scientologist. So Scientology is in the backstory of this fucking rape trial and the conviction, and of course today the sentencing.
But these were women. Cults? Like, did they join while they were doing the TV show? Like, did they? I don't
know the full details. I wonder if we could pull a little bit of these details.
I just find it like it can't be a coincidence that both of them were into Scientology.
Well, he was a Scientologist. He knew them from the Church of Scientology. By the way, that guy's 47, dudes. I thought he'd be younger than that. He's pushing 50, and he's going to prison for 30 fucking years. Oh, he's gonna be getting ass raped into his 80s.
Did you guys ever see the Scientology show with Leah Remini in it?
Okay. I have two confessions here. No. This might sound a little old man by the river. I was always attracted to Leah Remini because I grew up with Leah Remini in like real life, not the person, but she's like a hot Brooklyn girl like you went to school with, and she's my age. So I always, even though I would never bang in that capacity. Did you guys just see my house lit up with lightning? Did you guys see that?
Holy shit.
Did you see it?
No.
My whole house just lit up with lightning. Yeah, I don't bang the Italians. I'll befriend you, you know. But as far as the banging goes, not a lot of Italian banging in my life. I just never. Now I know you guys heard that, right?
Oh yeah.
My whole house is shaking from lightning and thunder.
It sounded like dishes rattling.
Yeah, it shook the whole house. That's my house shaking. But I've always thought she was hot. And second, I could not get through that show because of how Brooklyn she is. Like I couldn't do it. I found her a little embarrassing. That's just me. Would bang, but embarrassed bang. You know what I mean,
Like
Shah? Like well, you'll bang, but you're a little embarrassed by the bang.
Can't say I've ever done that, but I know where you're coming from.
Well, you're not mentally ill like me. You're a normal person.
Sure.
You just
currently banging in Italian, so
yeah. So please, oh, Maron. I couldn't do it. But Bisha, you know what I'm saying? Like Leah Remini for me, like that's the hot Brooklyn girl. Like that's the hot girl at your school or something.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you were saying you were old man Draper for being into her. I'm like, I am too.
Well, we're the same age. She's a little older than me.
No, but I mean, she still is and was a gorgeous person. I get what you mean with the oh, tell me more, baby. Like that really.
No, like be like so you were forbidden to leave the house because David Miscavige wouldn't let you, right? And I'm just like, it's very Cardi B-ish. I can't. It's like the Italian Cardi B. I can't do it. I can't do it. But I know that show's dope. Shah, you would have loved that show. It's cult show.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that. I don't know how that
was
got
her. She was a long-term Scientologist, and she turned on Scientology, and she made a series about escaping Scientology. And people gave her a lot of props for it. I mean, you know, Bisha, right? Like she was given like a lot of props for doing that. I mean, it's not.
Yeah,
like,
and I think she's still doing interviews about it too. Like I've seen stuff now. Basically, to go back to the celebrity thing, Scientology courts people like Tom Cruise, celebrities, because they want to seem like it's a big deal. So they go after these high-profile people so they can say, "Hey, we have them in our ranks." So they also, according to her and people that have come out, go to great lengths to protect people in Scientology. They have like different, almost like the church, like the Catholic Church.
Oh,
like if you're a Tom Cruise and you kill somebody, there's a crew who's going to come in and clean the shit up, according to them.
Yeah.
So,
and Shah, there's a great. Did you guys see the documentary about the famous actor, the director who left Scientology, Going Clear?
No.
It's amazing. You have to watch it.
What is it on? Is it streaming somewhere?
It's on Max. Yeah, it's on Max.
Yeah.
But it's called Going Clear. Have you seen the show? She's in it, I think.
I've not. I think I've seen some clips from it, and I think they talked about it on the Rogan podcast a couple times.
Oh yeah, you will be sucked in 5 minutes. You'll be like, this can't be real. This can't.
There's a lot of shows like that now. I know Amazon Prime has a original that's on cults. Basically, a lot of confessions from different cults. I know there's a couple of HBO Max shows, so that's probably one of them that I've.
Yeah, there's a couple of documentaries on Scientology, but to me, the best is Going Clear. It's the director who made some big movies. He's a little bit of an off guy. Right? But what's that?
It's not Lawrence Krauss, right?
It might be Lawrence Krauss. It might be. Yeah, Going Clear, which is because I know a lot about Scientology from that documentary. I know about Xenu, the aliens, the E-meter, the Thetans. Like this is all Scientology lore. Like it's all
Alex Gibney.
Alex Gibney? Okay. Yeah. Alex Gibney is a good director, but there's a famous maybe Lawrence Krauss is one of the people in it. There's a
Lawrence
lot of
Wright.
I'd have to watch it again
because I thought it was Lawrence Krauss, but this keeps saying Lawrence Wright wrote the book and then Alex Gibney and he produced it.
Does it have any people like list of people in it, like names of people? Because there's not just famous people in it. Obviously, there's regular people in it.
Yeah, Lawrence Wright, Paul Haggis.
Paul Haggis, famous. Paul Haggis is a super famous director. He's directed big shit. But Shad, the best part about it, I don't want to ruin it for you, is after you get to a certain level in Scientology, they tell you the origins of Scientology, which is like the alien shit. Like the aliens came down and hid in the volcanoes, and they've been there for thousands of years. I'd like, and his name is Xenu. And actually, South Park spoofed this, John, one of the seasons. They had a full, and it said, "This is real."
You should probably stop telling me about this, man. I kind of want to join Scientology now. You're selling me on that, dude.
Well,
I don't want to.
Like it's.
How do I join?
Like the I don't want to say cult, but the scam part of it is like they give you like self-help treatment in the early stages.
E-meter, like you get an e-reading. You get an e-reading. Yeah.
But even before that, it's like they give you like rudimentary courses in self-help that you could get from like a Tony, whatever his name is,
Tony
Robbins type of thing. And it's like, you start feeling good, like, oh man, I'm taking control and I'm disciplined and I'm learning this stuff. And you don't really know until like thousands of dollars later that it's really about these aliens that were sunk into volcanoes and blew up, and they're all a part of you.
Yeah,
So.
and they're like flying around Shah, and you have they called Thetan. There's Thetans. I know the whole spiel. Like, and you know what's funny too? Like Travolta and Tom Cruise still in it, still working. Tom Cruise is the biggest movie star of all time. Maybe hasn't affected him negatively at all. Like,
yeah, if there's any Scientologists listening to this, hit me up. I'm kind of sold. Aliens, volcanoes, and Tom Cruise and shit. Dude, I'm down. This is
fucking Dirk.
Yeah,
Shah wants to bang all the girls in Scientology.
Shah would be banging. He got kicked out for banging. We got Digital Lizard. What's up to our friend Chris Matthews, Cleric of Chaos, Slave Cheeks, and of course Dirk. Dirk, happy Dirk Day. Wasn't it just Dirk's birthday?
Yeah.
Yes.
Happy
Was
birthday
that today?
Yesterday, I think. Happy birthday, Dirk.
Okay. And B-Show, was your son's birthday?
Yeah, my son's birthday was today. I took half a day off work. He just turned 6.
Oh wow, wow, that's little. What did you guys do
for
for
the little
birthday?
B show?
Little B show, little bees.
Little B. Let's see. He went with me to work for half the day, and then I took him out to get Sonic for lunch.
Whoa.
He wanted me to take him to Spirit Halloween, and he bought a Super Mario hat. So that was part of his birthday gift. And then he and I went to Bass Pro Shop. And we just hung out, and he ran around, and they have like a target, like you can shoot these targets, and if you hit the light, like the car radiator, the
Bass Pro Shop,
it's fake. Yeah, it's all, dude. I'm telling you, if you go to Bass
I've never
Pro
been
Shop,
to one. I've seen commercials.
They have a mini aquarium with fish and stuff in it. So yeah, it's like a redneck wonderland, man.
This is like a white escape room, like Like what is going on? Like, what's the white ratio in a Bass Pro Shop? Like,
it's definitely like 99 to 1. Yeah.
Like, what is it more like a fish concert? Like, what kind of whites are we talking about here?
It's a wide gamut. I don't know if it's a fish concert. I don't see too many hippies, but it's a lot of hunting and fishing.
Well, in terms of the white content, is it like a Taylor Swift concert?
No, you'd probably be closer to like a shitty country concert, but
okay, like Dirk, because not the Dirk.
It's like the Jason Aldean.
Jason Aldean.
Yeah.
Jason Aldean, the White Machine. You should just call it the White Jason Aldean and the Whitey Machine. So
Cleric. Bass Pro Shop is forever 21 for older.
Jesus Christ. Oh, what's up to Marquise Johns? He's in the house tonight too. So we got a lot of our buddies hanging out. But that sounds like a great birthday. Happy birthday to Little Bees. So what I think happened, Shah, was he was and Chris Matthews is pointing out the connection between L. Ron Hubbard, that it was literally he just was a failed science fiction writer and created Dianetics. Like it's so true. It's just like, yeah, he just made this shit up and people believed it. Who knew? But that's really every religion. Let's be honest. But it just is. You know what I mean? But wow, I'm still thinking about this Bass Pro Shop. I gotta see one. I gotta go to one, B-Show. It sounds fun.
Well, like there's boats there, there's ATVs, there's fishing gear. They have like clothing stuff, and then there's like an old timey store on the other side where you can buy candy and shit.
I don't want to know what's going on in that old timey store. Are they reminiscing about the good old days for them? Because I don't want to.
You mentioned the black to white ratio. You know,
are there any Italians in Bass Pro Shop?
I've never seen an Italian in Bass Pro Shop,
and you never will, because we fish with our hands. But anyway, getting back to the rapes from Danny Masterson. So Shah, he was like a high ranking because the celebrities have a celebrity center. It's like if you're a celebrity and a Scientologist, your life is incredible. Like you're like an all-star Scientologist just by virtue of being the celebrity, and you're treated as that. And what this dude did apparently was he used his affiliation with Scientology and his TV notoriety to rape sleeping women in his Scientology church. I guess it's considered a church, you know. And you know, he's still denying it. I do want to point out that he, even at the sentencing, he staunchly denied he has done any of this. He has not in any way capitulated that he is a raper of some kind, and that did not sway the jury. Excuse me, I think it was a judge. I don't know if it was a jury trial. It was in Los Angeles. So this is a federal crime. I mean, rape is probably a jury trial.
Can I ask a question real quick? Did he drug them? Like, how did
I believe so, yes. Yeah, can we look up what he actually was?
How do you not wake up? I never understood. Like, unless you drug somebody, right?
Well, I mean, this is the Cosby too. You are unconscious. You are completely. You're
Right.
not supposed to wake up. He
'Cause if you're just
Cosby'd
naturally
he Cosby'd
sleeping,
two girls in the church.
yeah.
Let's see what he was accused of. Wow, this is a big story, man.
30
The
years.
articles I found through AP were just like what was said afterward, but it wasn't details or anything.
Oh, it was what was said after. Oh, he was. Yeah, dude, his wife is Bijou Phillips.
Oh shit.
Yeah, his wife is famous. His wife is a famous actress, the daughter of Mamas and the Papas, John Phillips, and what's her face? I forget who her mother is. But yeah, his wife is famous. I had a feeling. The women, obviously they're anonymous because it's a rape fucking trial, so we'll never, and we should never know who they are. But they got to testify, got to speak at the hearing for sentencing, and it was about as brutal as it can get. Now I have a question, and this is a serious question. Does this mean the show is over, never to be rerun, never to be touched, not to be released because it's impossible to have the context of the catalog without him shot? Or do you think that's an extreme thing?
What did they do with the Cosby Show?
Okay, the Cosby thing was different because it was a pattern for fucking 40 years of rape. Like these were people he was raping.
But I'm saying, is his show still running or is that
long gone? Everything's gone.
Same thing. 70s show will probably be gone.
So you think so now everybody on the show will never get a residual? Not that they get them because of the fucking strike. So you think that's it? Rerun syndication?
Yeah, I think reruns are done. Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, if this dude is going out for 30 years, man, there's
30 years.
30 years is crazy. It's pretty much life.
That's like capital murder, like
and
rape.
Like
I got no problem with that at all.
It was 30 to life, wasn't it? The sentence?
It's 30 to life.
That's what I saw from AP.
Well, he's 47, yo.
Yeah, NBC News. That 70s show.
He's gonna probably die in there.
He's gonna die an old man in prison with his colon hanging out.
So yeah, NBC News. Danny Masterson sentenced Thursday, 30 years to life.
Jesus Christ. Deserved it. Bisha, what are your thoughts about how you handle the TV show? Honestly, I don't know that. Like, so everyone on the show now is fucked for life because this guy who they worked with that they haven't worked with in 15 years or whatever the fuck it's been. I mean, I don't know about that. Like, it's a weird thing. I don't know.
Yeah, because you can't just not mention him or cut him out of the scenes because he's everywhere.
Yeah,
it's not like they can Chris Benoit this shit on like they did.
Right, that's the thing. They can't take him out. So like, I just don't see them being able to play this at all.
And if he signed a contract and he gets residuals from streaming, it's not like I don't. If it's contractually, I don't think they can just say, "Hey, we're going to keep showing the shows. You're just not going to get your residuals because of some good boy clause or something."
Yeah, no.
So yeah, you got to shut it down, I guess.
Yeah, our friend Digital Lizard pointed out he actually had another show on Netflix with Ashton Kutcher, who's his best friend.
Yeah,
and Sam Elliott. And as soon as the allegations came out, they completely just took him out of the fucking show. And they've done things like this before. And shout out to Jarek Braxton, who's also in the house, and Neslo, who's in the house there. Look, there was a movie with Mark Wahlberg and a couple of other people, and Kevin Spacey had a part in it, and it was finished. And when Kevin Spacey got accused of all these charges, which, by the way, he beat every charge. I think he was accused of raping like 7 men, and was found not guilty every time, something like that. Don't quote me. They completely reshot the scenes and put a different person in the role before they put the movie out. Now they can afford to do that. What do you guys think with CG or something, or like with AI? Do you think there's a way where they could AI a different actor into the part? Or you just think this is it? We're never seeing those shows. People who like the show was on for like 9 years or something. It's gone forever, and they'll be sold bootleg copies at conventions or something.
No, I think it's a wrap, man. I don't think you're going to see that much longer. I just looked on eBay. That 70s show, the prices still aren't crazy, but I guarantee I'm curious. I'm going to check back on it in like a week or two. I guarantee you they're going to be skyrocketing.
Yeah.
Because the only way you'll probably be able to watch it is probably DVD.
Yeah. I mean, and like I said, I was like, we're talking about a primetime network show that ran like, I think in between Family Guy and American Dad or something like that for like a decade.
Yeah, and it's weird because I was trying to draw the conclusion to figure out what show I would compare it to. It was almost like the modern version of Happy Days in a way.
Oh, wow. Jesus. But if Ralph Malph raped a bunch of people.
No, Fonz. He was like the kind of cool,
What wasn't Ashton Kutcher more? I never watched the show.
Ashton Kutcher was like the
stoner?
The attractive, goofy, dumb guy. And Danny Masterson's character was like the cool.
He was like the
stoner who
cool
didn't
guy.
give a
He was
shit.
the fun. Like,
Yeah.
hey, go to sleep so I can rape you. Hey, like he
Yeah.
was that. Whoa, I didn't know that. Anthony Alston's in the house. What's up? I never watched it. Sean never watched. Sean, you never watched a minute of it either. I never saw a second of it.
No, I mean I saw a couple seconds, scrolling through channels, but I never watched a full episode. Never interested me. None of the jokes landed with me. I wasn't who they're catering to. You know what I mean?
Well, my understanding was, and by the way, I think Joe Punches brought in that there was a movie that Batista was in, a zombie movie, and there was a weirdo guy in there, and they basically CG'd him out of the movie because he got accused of some rape charges. Wow, these rape charges, just fucking unbelievable, man.
Well, this isn't a movie also either. This is like you're talking 8
True.
seasons of some shit.
You're talking about
work,
26 episodes of a 10-year show. You can't do that.
they're not. That's a lot of work, man. That's a lot of.
Oh my god.
That's a lot of.
Could you imagine trying to
work.
CG the Fonz out of fucking Happy Days of Henry Winkler? It was.
Why don't they
he was
just put the
exposed to some
CG the
weirdo.
Fonz in there over his cat? What was his character's name in that 70s show? Rapey? What was his name?
Oh, find out. I don't remember.
Danny the Raper?
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. I never watched it. I never saw it. But my understanding was they couldn't show weed, so you would just see like billows of smoke and them going like Beavis and Butthead.
His name was Hyde, Stephen Hyde. So
Stephen Hyde. He was hiding the fact that he was a rapist.
So what they would do is they would have the camera like almost like it was in the middle of the table, and as they're around the table smoking, they would like turn it from one person to the next.
But you would never see the weed. You'd never see drugs.
No, it would just be a
Okay.
smoke-filled basement, and they'll be saying the goofiest, dumb, high shit.
Let me ask you guys a question, and then we'll move on because obviously this literally just happened a few hours ago. Shout out to Kevin Castle who's hanging out in the chat. If they made that show today on the 70s, do you think they would be allowed to show the weed because it's so socially acceptable and legal in like 26 states? Shot? Do you think you would just see them smoking pot on prime time?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to compare to the HBO show, but there was a show called Weeds, and the whole fucking thing was
Weeds on Showtime. Yeah, it was about a weed dealer.
So,
yeah, it was very popular.
I mean, I think with weed, it's not demonized like it used to be. They're going to be able to show it too. I mean, I can't remember any shows on national TV that showed it, but I'm sure
never. You weren't allowed. You weren't allowed.
No, I'm talking about nowadays. I'm sure there's shows doing it now, though, right?
I think you see people smoking pot on TV now for sure, right?
I mean, even on Vice literally had a show that was just dedicated to weed. Action Bronson was smoking bongs with Sabu.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was. Yeah, dude, Bill Maher has a fucking podcast where he just
they smoke weed on TV now. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. B-Show, do you think if they created the show today, say this never happened and blah blah blah, and it was going to be a sitcom called That 70s Show on Fox on prime time, you think there'd just be weed everywhere?
On prime time, I don't know, because like Euphoria is on Freeform.
Euphoria is on HBO, but that's an R-rated. There's titties, there's fucking everything in that motherfucker.
I still think, I mean, Fox is Fox, and it used to have like someone threw in a Simpsons quote a minute ago. So shout out to Slave Cheeks. People are talking about Titus. Titus was a good show too.
Yeah, I remember that show. That guy's annoying as fuck.
So I mean, Fox being Fox, maybe today, but I still think there's enough people that would fucking rise up and complain about.
Yeah, and complain for sure. Well, he's going to jail. Yeah. I don't know any movies he's in. I think he's in some movies and in an ancillary way, like that he has like small parts in movies, maybe a horror movie, actually. I'm almost convinced. But very, very sad story. I 100% think the guy's guilty. I think he's guilty.
I'm sure he is if he's getting 30 years, dude.
30, yeah, he is. Guys, read everything about it. This motherfucker is steadfast. He is like, I did nothing. Like, I didn't do dick. I am completely innocent. I'll listen, I'll say this. 30 years, I think he got off easy. I would have put that fucker in jail for life, and rapists, as we all know, don't do well in jail, guys. Rapists don't do well in jail. But yeah, it's over. He's going to prison forever. And, I'm sure we'll hear some stories behind the scenes in prison.
You don't think he's going to be in PC, do you?
100%. Yeah, he's a famous guy. Yeah, they can't.
I wish they would just put these guys in general public.
I know. General penis, so they can get a general penis in the anus.
Yeah, because I mean, if he's fucking, fuck him.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, and dude, you know what? I bet he converts to Christianity in jail because Scientology.
Like Dahmer.
No, I'll probably be a Muslim.
Yeah.
They
You
don't
think he's
rape
going to
the
convert to be a Muslim?
Yeah, they don't rape the Muslims apparently. That's why everybody converts to Islam.
That might be true,
my God.
actually. Yeah, that might be true. Well, we
Yeah.
learned a lot today, people.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring this up because I actually had this experience a few weeks ago with you guys. I don't know how much we talked about on the air, but you two of you on the air, off the air, texting every time we talk. I feel like we talk about Tubi a lot, like when it's just the three of us, right? And because you're both like, Tubi got this, Tubi got that. You need to watch this on Tubi. And I watched something recently on Tubi a couple weeks ago, a couple episodes ago, and I can't deal with the commercials. I just can't do it. I cannot do it. I'm not built for the commercials. I'm spoiled. I pay tons of money to not watch commercials. But apparently, Tubi is it in the top 5? Bisha, what is the actual stat that came out today for Tubi? It's a remarkable statistic. I think you're on mute.
The article I saw said it's as big as one of the top 5 networks.
Jesus.
But this from TechCrunch says impressive growth, over 74 million monthly active
Oh
users.
my God.
Are you really surprised by that though? I mean, it's
Yes,
free,
because it has commercials.
Yeah, but it's free.
It doesn't matter. People will nobody likes commercials. Nobody. Why do you think networks are dead? Why do you think the network news is dead? Why do you think network TV is dead? Because why do you think DVR is supreme if you even have cable? Nobody likes commercials. 74 million motherfuckers.
Yeah, but you paid for cable and stuff and still had to watch commercial. You're not paying anything for this. This is free.
Well, I DVR that motherfucker and I go flickety flick, flick, flick.
Right, but still, if you're watching live, that's something you paid for that you have to sit through the commercials. This you have to sit through 2.5 minutes of commercials, but it's completely free. And it's basically on demand because you get to select stuff. It's not live. You get to watch whatever you want for free. You just have to sit through some commercials. So I'm not surprised that like fucking a third of the country's watching this constantly.
This is an extraordinary number though, guys. Bisha, I mean, this is fucking huge.
And check out the timing. So it says between February and July or August, whenever the numbers were taken, they gained 10 million active users. So that's from February.
What?
And if you think about what's been going on the past couple months, streaming companies have been consolidating. They've been increasing prices. They've been pulling stuff down.
Yeah.
They've been adding, like you're paying for services and they're still putting ads up in some ways anyway. Like I was working today. I wanted to put a horror movie on the background on Peacock. And I had like, I think it was 127 minutes or 127 seconds of ads, which is like what, 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Before the movie would even play. It's like, I fucking pay for this shit.
Wow.
So, and I think this article is starting to get into that too. It says, expensive premium subscriptions like Disney Plus and Netflix. They're shifting away from that in favor of this. And the thing I like about Tubi is it's almost like when you went into a video rental store back in the day and you didn't necessarily have like the new big titles, but you had a lot of great shit that you could get for half off or buy one, get one.
Yeah.
That's what Tubi reminds me of.
Exactly. It's got a lot of hidden gems that you wouldn't find on HBO Max and other places. I mean, for the horror fans, I can't explain to you how many grindhouse and exploitation movies that you would only find in Something Weird or AGFA that you're never going to find on other streaming platforms, but it's here. You can get it for free, and it's got just about everything. That's know what I mean. You search it, it's on there. It's pretty wild.
Now, is there any version of Tubi where you don't have to watch the commercials?
I don't believe so. No.
Really? So that's the other thing too. They don't offer any tiers, right? So it's a
I think
flat
it's
tier.
free, and they just get paid through commercials.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, also networks have sold their own shows to Tubi, right? Like HBO has done this. Some other networks have done this, right? B-Show. That's another way that they're making probably some money.
I would imagine. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but sometimes I'll be surprised.
I think Westworld might have been sold to Tubi. A couple of HBO sitcoms might have been sold to Tubi. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, no, it's fine. It's just I can't think of any off the top of my head other than that. But sometimes I'll be surprised. Like I'll go back and watch something old with my kids that we want to watch, and it's not on any other streaming services. And then we go to the homepage, and it's something like that. It's like, holy shit, that's from HBO. Why is that on here? So,
and it's all categorized, guys, right? Like, so it's like, and they don't edit anything, Shah? Like there's no like violence edited or vaginas or anything like that, or penises, flaccid or otherwise?
Well, they don't have any X-rated stuff, but.
Well, no, I'm not talking about P and the VG. I'm talking about just in general, like hard R.
No, nothing censored. No.
Wow.
I mean, it's usually not in the greatest quality. You know, like you'll find
because you're streaming like standard quality.
yeah, like it's like DVD quality for a lot of the horror movies you'll watch. Like you can go watch Contamination and fucking The Stuff on there.
Oh wow, that's
but
fun shit.
Yeah, but it's probably not the best quality. You know?
Okay. So I just wanted, because the lot of the chat are chiming in here. So Chuck is saying Tubi's better at streaming TV shows because the ads feel more natural. Kevin Castle is a big fan of Tubi, apparently. He says Tubi's really good, very good movies and obscure TV shows, but you got to deal with the commercials. And of course, Cleric Chaos. So about manufacturers, leave it up to the consumer to decide whether or not to pay. And then Chuck is saying he's watching things like Soap, which is a very old sitcom. And then Kevin Castle's pointing out they have China Girl on there, which is a very obscure like indie movie. Hemlock Grove from Joe Punches. So like this is Tubi right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so they got some big time shit on here. I wonder what now. Did they have exclusives, guys? Like shit.
Yeah, they make their own stuff now. Yeah, terrible stuff. It's oh yeah, they have their originals. They're horrible though. They're like fucking.
But I mean, how many people are trying to watch La Bamba? I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be like
Monster. Let's see, Notorious, The Founder.
The Founder. Some of these. Lamborghini. Well, what's that? Terrifier's on there.
Get Out. Yeah, Get Out. Texas Chainsaw. There's a lot of good horror movies on.
Oh, look, Halloween 2018. Dude, they have better horror movies than Shudder. I would argue that.
Yeah, that's fair.
The Strangers on there. Yeah. Last House on the Left reboot. Bone Tomahawk's on there. Oh,
I'm telling you, man.
Movie. Jesus, if you
we went through this one time where
yeah, but this is like outrageous. Some of this.
Oh, let me see if I can log into my account because I have
Creepshow 3, which I heard is terrible. The OG Martyrs is there. Yep. Audition.
That's where I saw it first. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Eden Lake. Oh my God. Train to Busan. Oh my God. They got good stuff on there. Evil Dead 2 B show, and they got Hemlock Grove. I've heard of. The Strangers, Hannibal, Jeepers Creepers, Deuce. Speaking of rapes, Jeepers Creepers,
30 Days a Night.
30 days. What is that other one there? That was Vacancy, Scary Stories. I want to see more newer things. That's the 2020 Halloween, the 2018 Halloween.
Yes.
Okay. I Spit on Your Grave remake. That's actually pretty damn good. I actually thought that was pretty. House of a Thousand Corpses. Now, but B Show, correct me if I'm wrong. Can I watch most of these somewhere else without commercials if I have streaming?
Maybe, but if it's like if you've already got 2 or 3 streaming services and to avoid commercials now you got to pay $10-15 a month because what's the streaming the commercial free version of Peacock? Is it like $12 a month now?
It's about $9.99, I think. I honestly don't keep track. I'm terrible with money apparently. But I have it.
Well, I mean, like we added it up and with everything we've got Disney, we've got Peacock, we've got HBO. Like with everything we have, we're paying almost as much as we were for cable anyway.
Yeah, I mean we knew that was going to happen at some point, you know. Cleric of Chaos said they had the entire Saw catalog last October, and they're really good for 80s, 90s, and Christmas movies.
So this is my list. I mean, they have the most obscure shit. Where else are you going to find Invasion of the Blood Farmers?
Oh, hot.
I mean, Creature of the Black Lake.
Oh,
they have a lot of weird shit.
Sasquatch.
Maniac.
And Bisho, you guys saw Freeway on here, right? You both saw
it, right? I watched Freeway.
I haven't watched Freeway yet.
Oh, Bisho, you're gonna love that movie.
Swamp Thing, which I'd like to talk about later.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about Swamp Thing.
But I mean, this is my list. They have a ton of them. I mean, they have original Sheik from Memphis and not Memphis from
Detroit. Yeah, Big Time Wrestling. Detroit.
Yeah, there's some obscure wrestling shit on there.
Oh, do they have I Like to Hurt People? That shit's
Abbott and Costello. I mean, they have everything.
Wow, look at this. Abbott and Costello.
Yeah.
The Christmas movies, they have is that
Death Wish, Murphy's Law.
Oh, they have these cool like the Octagon Chuck Norris and the Evil That Men Do. Yeah, I'm into it, guys. But the thing is, Microwave Massacre, that's a good family.
That Meat Cleaver Massacre movie we're talking about is on here.
Mausoleum's dope.
I agree with Shaheen. Like if you want to cut and eat, and it's only $5, but if you would rather have like the better horror stream, they beat pretty much handedly month over month Shudder. I will say.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'll look on Shudder to see what movies are playing. And a lot of the ones that I would want to see anyway, even if they're more obscure and they're not just your normal franchise fare, a lot of times they're on here anyway for free. And I'm like, fuck it. I'll put up with a commercial every, 12 or 15 minutes.
Yeah. There's some, I'm not going to front. There is outrageous. Class of 84.
Q the Winged Serpent.
Oh, Q.
Everything, dude. Q. Everything is on here.
Is that the original Assault on Precinct 13?
Yeah, the OG. Yeah, the OG. It's fucking hard as balls. Hard as balls. That
Barbarians, Lucio.
Oh, we talked about the Barbarians.
The
Oh,
twins.
I
the,
love that
the
movie.
original Death Race 2000 is fantastic, by the way.
Dude, I love Barbarians. Everyone should check this out. This is a fucking great movie.
And Maniac
Yep.
Cops B show, like classics here.
Yeah, and that's what I'm
Meatballs.
saying. Maniac,
Meatballs.
3 Maniac Cop movies are on
Showgirls.
Shutter right now.
Wow,
Look,
Showgirls.
Freeway.
Oh, love Showgirls.
Joe's
I recognize
Apartment,
a lot of these
Brewster's
rentals,
Millions.
by the way.
Brewster's Millions is a great one.
Joe versus the Volcano, the Grim Reaper. I remember that. Antichrist. Is this the Antichrist Shah, or this is a different?
No, this is a Exorcist knockoff. It's an Italian Exorcist knockoff.
Oh yeah, they like to do that, the Italians.
Look, Cut and Run.
Yeah, quite a few Giallo type movies here too, huh?
Yeah, they got a lot. I mean, they
got a bunch of Giallo here. Dark Side of the
There's
Ring.
Inferno. New York Ripper.
Yeah, New York Ripper's great.
What was Wax Mask? That was Argento, wasn't it?
It is?
Yeah, I think so.
It's either him or Fulci, but yeah.
No, I think it's Argento. I think.
By the way, Cleric of Chaos is telling people in the chat, for the technically inclined, there are ways to alter the source codes in your device to permanently remove ads. That's popular. See no evil, guys. Human Centipede 3, which is the worst of the 3. All Hallows Eve, which I don't think I've still seen. Is that the Cabin Fever reboot?
You ever see Pandorum?
Yeah, I like Pandorum.
Yeah, I forgot about that movie.
That's a good movie. And then there's Over the Top B show.
Oh,
wow.
We just talked about that a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, Tubi, Ichi, and there's Antichrist Shah. There it is right there.
And there you go. Back to the Future. That is on Peacock right now because it's a Universal.
How is
movie.
Back to the Future on Peacock?
That's what I'm saying.
How did they get it? The Autopsy of Jane Doe, King of New York, one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah, but they got some of the newer stuff too. Look,
House that Jack built, Mandy.
Yeah.
The Nightingale. I've heard about the Nightingale.
Banger.
You told me about. I was just gonna say, didn't you tell me I have to watch Nightingale?
You would love that movie, honestly.
Is that on Shudder?
I don't know. I haven't had Shudder for quite some time.
Okay. You're not gonna get it for Halloween because they're probably gonna add like a dick ton.
Dude, I own literally all these movies, so it's like,
wow.
It's
this is great. I mean, listen, I'm into it. I get why it's so popular. Don't get me wrong. I have the commercials take me out of it. Neon Maniacs. I saw that in the movie theaters.
Yo, Evil Ed. Don't sleep on this. So fun.
Evil Ed.
Such a fun movie.
You click on it. I feel like I may have heard of Evil Ed.
When I was really little,
I want to play it.
It used to scare me because when I went to the video, like I'm talking about like little, like 5, 6. We used to go to the video store and the Evil Ed poster was like Ed on the cover with an axe in his head and his head split open, like gushing blood. I had no idea what it was.
Oh, Only God Forgives, Shah. We talked about that. That's that Gosling movie.
You ever see this movie, V? It's a Russian movie from like 1967.
No.
It's a weird one.
Wow.
Sleepaway Camp, Tourist Trap.
And they have some of the Masters of Horror on here, which I think are still on the Showtime app because I have Showtime. Tourist Trap.
This is the only time Argento and Romero.
Yes, Two Evil Eyes. That's right. Wow. I wonder if my brother Mike is on here. This seems like something he would be like.
Oh, I'm sure he's on there.
I'm sure he is. Antrim. I've heard of that too. Castle Freak, Kevin Castle. Oh, I love American Mary. Poughkeepsie Turbo Kid. Oh, Bubba Hotep, Deborah Logan, Hell House, Teeth. Damn, yo. Listen. Color me impressed.
It's better than Shudder.
Frozen.
This is the best app.
Just be pretty good too. The Canal. Oh, Starry Eyes and Beyond the Black Rainbow, Dead Snow. Oh my God!
I wish I could remember who put me onto this, but it was someone in one of the horror groups
the original Goodnight Mommy, Nightbreed, guys.
Yeah.
Last Shift. They got bangers on here.
I just got Nightbreed on 4K, man. That shit looks fucking dope.
Wow.
Looks like a.
Oh, look, is that the clown movie? What is that?
Dude, they even have Mondo Cane.
I just saw that. Clown is great.
31's not bad.
Oh, I didn't watch. People told me that I would get angry if I watched 31.
It is. It's like
the Divine documentary. Shah's on here.
Yeah.
Shit, Cannibal Ferox. Yeah, B Show. I figured you'd be all over this. It was a motherfucker.
Yeah, man. You can't beat it. I mean, we've already beat it to death, but like.
Well, no, I had no idea. But the thing is, this like, where did they go from here? Because like, clearly they have a niche, right? But that also means that people will watch commercials. Now, I think there is a lower end version of other streaming platforms that are now being added with commercials. So if you want to watch Hulu with commercials or Netflix with a commercial, that's the future then. Do you think Tubi is going to set that business model going forward, Shah? Like that, yeah, that basically Peacock's going to go, look, we know it's $12, but if you buy the $4.99, you get commercials.
Well, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I just resubscribed to HBO Max and they had an option $9.99 with commercials or 15,
that's new. That's brand new.
Or 15 without commercials.
Okay, that's brand new.
Yeah, it's a new thing. So I think a lot of them are going to start just incorporating commercials in there, even if you're paying.
What have you watched, Shah, since you re-upped HBO Max? There's so much fucking good shit.
Nothing. Honestly, I'm going to cancel it again because I didn't even fire it up one time the whole month.
Well, you got to see what's on there.
Dude, you got to understand though. Like, I order a lot of physical movies, so I have 10, 15 movies.
Well, before you cancel it, watch that Going Clear documentary, dude. Seriously, like it's great.
Yeah. But like I have physical movies coming in from Amazon Weekly or somewhere else that I pre-ordered. So I make those a priority. I know I have so much time. So I just watch those, and by the end of the month, I don't have any time for HBO Max. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, it's that's my favorite personally. HBO Max is my absolute favorite. And yours too, right, Bisho?
Yeah, I think so. I want to put this to the chat though, for everyone who's in there. Would you rather pay for no commercials or watch a free or reduced subscription app and put up with commercials?
So I'm going no commercials.
Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Let us know. But that's exactly what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of people in the chat watch Tubi for sure. Like they're already all over this. So like, yeah, dude, we know about this. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, Shah, before you cancel it for the end of the month, you got to peep some of those documentaries. There's too many good ones to mention.
Yeah, I will. By the way, for the people in the chat watching us live, hit that thumbs up for us, please. We appreciate it. It gets us going because the algorithm. We need to get more into algorithm so it can recommend us to random people. So if you hit that thumbs up, we greatly appreciate that.
Yeah. And Jarek Braxton said pay for no commercials. Anthony Alston said pay for no commercials. Punches is like I put up with commercials if it's Tubi. Slave Cheeks, pay for no commercials. Yeah, I think it's going to variate here for sure. But it's fascinating. Tubi is a monster. And who did we establish owns Tubi? Is it
Fox?
Fox. Incredible. That's incredible investment for Fox. And a point Cleric Chaos is saying that, if we have it physical or even on digital, you want to spend as little as possible. But we do want to get to another interesting story. So before I bring up the story, Shah, because you're talking about physical media, we just scrolled through Swamp Thing. We're talking about the Wes Craven. I want to say, B-Show, is it 1982? It is very old. I mean,
that sounds right. That sounds right. It's early 80s, yeah.
Okay, so Wes Craven made a comic book movie in the very early 80s of the DC character Swamp Thing, who's a very dark, popular character. There's lots of iterations of it, but really the one that most people associate with is like the adult, dark, black and white, doesn't interfere in the DC universe. It's really like an environmental story. 82, Kevin said. Yeah, it was 82. And what they made a Swamp Thing movie where it was so terrible, even for 1982, it bombed. And it was considered like a campy. It's almost like they intentionally tried to make it campy. And Shah just bought, I guess, the digital. Shah, who put out the 4K?
No, not digital, the physical.
Physical, okay.
I bought it on disc. So MVD put it out on 4K. And that's been my latest obsession, is because like Scream Factory, Arrow Video, Vinegar Syndrome, a lot of these companies are mastering all these and restoring the whole movies into 4K. So when you watch it, it's like a brand new experience, because what 4K does is all the blacks are actually black on your screen. So it really darkens it up. The colors are vibrant. It's a brand new experience every movie you watch.
It sounds racist.
I'm
just saying. I had my headset off. I came back and you were saying some racist stuff.
No, they got it. They got it.
They got it. Okay.
But 4K is basically what your eyes can see. It's as good as it's going to be in real life.
Okay.
So they restored this into 4K, and I'd never seen it before. And I saw that it was directed by Wes Craven. So I was like, fuck it. I got to. And if you click on the first image, that's the one that I bought just now. Yeah. So this came out, and I got it at Best Buy. Came home yesterday and I saw that Amazon had sent me Creepshow on 4K from Scream Factory. So I was like, fuck it, I'll do a double feature. I haven't watched any movies for a week or so.
Shot, did they come out the same year? I feel like they might be almost the
I
same
think so,
time.
actually. Yeah, they actually did. Yeah.
Wow. Because I was 11 when I saw Creepshow in the theaters. I was scared to death at the Marlboro
comparing
movie.
the two. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's not fair.
My God. But I loved Creepshow. I mean, obviously I've seen it before, but in 4K, man, it looks so fucking good. Wow. The Leslie Nielsen part, like it looks so vibrant. The sky, the blues, and all the darks.
Great. It's great.
Not gonna lie, man. 2-hour runtime. I never realized how long it was.
Is
Creepshow long. It's 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours. And I thought it was one segment too many, man.
Oh, I've
hated that cockroach segment. I thought they cut
Greg
that off.
Nicotero. Greg Nicotero still killing it today with Walking Dead. He ended up taking over Walking Dead.
Well, this was Tom Savini. He wants to do another Creepshow, like a prequel.
That's Tom Savini, because it doesn't look like it's in his wheelhouse.
He did that.
Guys.
Yeah, that's
wow. He doesn't do that kind of effects though. Generally, creatures like that, he does like victims.
He's got a wide gamut of stuff, but yeah,
that looks incredible stuff. I think that looks great.
I think he has a replica of Fluffy in his workshop somewhere. I've seen all.
Yes, he does. It's in his.
Well, they were selling them too. They were selling them for a while. I think they made like 300 of them. There was a couple $1,000, but they were selling them.
So Creepshow still holds up, huh?
Yeah, Creepshow, dude, it looks so fucking good.
People want to ask about the roaches. How do the roaches look?
They look real.
Okay.
And it's kind of sad, man. I mean, there's this one scene that I totally forgotten about. It's the Stephen King segment where they pick up like a possum by its neck and it's like screaming. I forgot that scene in the movie.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm sure you've forgotten too, because it wasn't. But that
Meteor shit.
Yeah, but Creepshow was amazing, and then I watched Swamp Thing next, which was in 4K, which didn't look nearly as good. It kind of looked like a regular Blu-ray, if I'm being honest. It didn't look like it was 4K. And I fucking hated it. I hated this movie so much. And I regret paying $30 for this piece of shit, man. I hated everything.
Okay. So it has Adrienne Barbeau on the cover, but it has a very young Heather Locklear in it, Shah, who looks fan-fucking-tastic. Heather Locklear, she's gorgeous. Look how pretty she is. Jesus Christ. But Adrienne Barbeau, who's also in Creepshow, B-Show.
Yes, Adrienne Barbeau and that smashing set of tits she has. My God.
Look at Heather Locklear.
That's the second one. Heather Locklear is not in the first one.
She's not in the first Swamp Thing? Are you sure?
No, she's in the second one.
Oh, The Return. I don't remember The Return. I just don't remember. Why did they make a second one if it bombed?
I don't know. I've heard the second one is even worse, so I'm definitely not going to watch that. But, dude, this movie was slow as hell. It was too romantic.
I think Swamp Thing looks good, though. I'm not going to lie. Like, for 82?
It does, but then the eyes, they ruined it because you could see the pink. I mean, this is actually a good picture of it. But in the movie itself, it kind of looks like a straight-up costume. But that wasn't my problem with it. Like, I was fine with the way it looked. I was like, it's 82, dude. I'm okay with that.
Right.
I hated how romantic this movie was. Like,
it was campy. Yeah,
it was very
it was like a 60s Batman shot. Like,
it was just, I don't know, man. Not my thing. And I just saw Wes Craven. I was expecting more. I guess I was expecting more of a horror movie. And there wasn't much horror to it at all. Like, it was just not a horror movie
it was supposed to be comedy, right, B-Show? You've seen it, right?
I don't know if it was supposed to be comedy. I know there were some comedic elements to it.
Certainly.
But knowing Wes Craven's work, like, he always thought super deep, and maybe he wanted to make a more romantic, like, tragic story of this guy as opposed to a straight up horror
the comics are dark. The comics are really dark.
Yeah, this was not. This was like a feel-good moments everywhere. I'm like, dude, what the fuck am I watching?
Can you pull up Return of the Swamp Thing? I want to see if I know what that is.
And this was an hour and a half, man. This
probably 83 or 84.
This dragged.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
the creature. It's the same dude, maybe, or different dude.
Nah, it looks worse. This looks worse. Oh,
wow. She looks great, though. I mean,
yikes! Click on the actual creature, though. See if there's a better. Yeah, this one looks terrible, dude.
Wow, she looks like a video girl, right? Like a metal video girl, isn't she?
Yeah.
Like she's in like Motley Crue video, which is weird because she's probably married to Tommy Lee at this point, actually.
She looks like she could be in Motley Crue. Those dudes look like
what year?
1989.
That much of a gap between the two?
Yeah, and I know Swamp Thing has a cult following, so
Yeah,
maybe that's why they made another one. But
now,
yeah,
didn't
not
they
good.
redo this B show a few years ago on like Sci-Fi, or was that Man Thing?
No, it was the thing. I don't know if I think it got canceled before it went to
Man Thing or Swamp Thing? Because
no
Man Thing is
Swamp Thing.
Marvel.
Because Derek Mears, who played, and I know Kev posted something about this on Twitter earlier.
Derek
Derek Mears, who played Jason in the Friday the 13th remake, was Swamp Thing.
What year do we think that was? I'm just
I
curious.
think it was like 2015 or 2017, and it
And
got
it was
canceled.
Was it a movie or was it a TV show?
It was a series. It was a TV
Okay, 'cause
series. It was
Man
supposed to
Thing
go
was
to,
a
I think,
series.
but I think it was supposed to go to CW, and then someone mentioned when they
Yes, it
thought,
got canceled before it even was aired.
and I don't know
Wow.
if you remember this, but they were talking about DC getting an app, or at least it
Yes.
going to HBO,
Yeah,
and
they were
for
gonna
some
put
reason
DC
it
had
was
an app.
never picked up.
I had it. The DC had an app. Yeah, I
And
had
they
it.
were hoping that it was going to get released there because it got canceled from CW or whatever it
Well,
was, and it never got made.
Shah's telling everybody not to buy the physical media version of Swamp Thing.
No, I actually want you to buy it. Go buy it because I want
Value
them to
yours?
make more of this stuff. But it just wasn't for me, man. I mean, I'm not a fan of the comics, so maybe it just didn't. It wasn't nostalgic. I'm watching it for the first time in 2023, by the way. So it's
Okay.
like,
Well, one thing we wanted to get to was a story that broke earlier in the week before we head on over to Patreon, and we're going to talk about a lot of movies in Patreon, people. Is there was a story that leaked the other day about Rotten Tomatoes, and the fake. Apparently, critics are being. What is it? B show critics were being paid for favorable reviews.
Yes, I'm trying to pull up. Well,
So,
I don't
like,
think it wasn't Rotten Tomatoes paying people. It was like
no,
PR firms.
it was a
paying
PR
people.
firm paying people to leave good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes.
Correct, which would explain a lot of the good
A
reviews.
lot
on
of
the
them,
shitty
yeah.
movies.
And Shah brought up an interesting graphic that came up about Rotten Tomatoes tonight, where like every movie had 100% out the gate.
to be fair though, those movies seem like the type of
Yeah,
movies that
they
would
look
be
like
winning,
big movies. Yeah, I mean,
they'd
yeah,
be like
they look
Oscar
like
winners and shit.
Oscar winners, but still, people don't like every Oscar winner. So, what is this B show? Can you flesh this out a little bit for us?
Yeah, so this is from ScreenGeek.net, but it's attributed to Vulture. A PR firm named Bunker 15 is said to pay as much as $50 for a single Rotten Tomatoes review. The payments, which aren't typically disclosed, are usually given to obscure critics who happen to be part of a pool tracked by Rotten Tomatoes. Though it's worth noting the aggregation site's strict rules prohibit reviewing based on a financial incentive.
Now, how did they get caught? Do we know?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I'm curious. I mean, look, nobody here obviously is surprised. It's just weird to see it in black and white. I know this was trending on social media quite a bit the other day. Shah, not surprised. Oh, I'm sorry. Shah's dropped off for a second. I mean, Bisho, I know you're not surprised either.
No, not at all. I mean, and look, we've talked about this with wrestling people, like journalists and critics, and everyone just, and we've talked about it with horror movies too. It's why I don't interact with a lot of other critics or people, even if I'm fans of their stuff they put up. It's because whenever I see these people doing channels and reviews and they completely fanboy over these movies, it's like, that was okay. But they're like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Comic movies, comic movies
yes,
too.
very big with comic movies too.
Oh yeah,
and
it's big like in comic world.
It's so transparent. And it's like you're doing this because either you want the audience or you want the attention of the people that made the movie, or someone's incentivizing you somehow, access, money, whatever it is. So it's really interesting. And another note here, the article says it's possible there are other similar cases happening on the website. While Rotten Tomatoes could try to remove these website, it looks like moviegoers, critics, and even studios feel that audiences just rely too heavily on the platform. So it makes sense why manipulation is bound to happen. So one firm was accused of, and they've pulled down their movie reviews, but they're admitting in this article that it's possible that other distributors or other producers can be doing the same thing right now as well.
Yeah, I mean, Shot makes total sense, right? I mean, there's just no way all of these things could be so.
Yeah, I'm sure this is just getting exposed now, but this has probably been going on forever. Before Rotten Tomatoes was probably a thing, film companies were probably paying critics just to put good name, because it's word of mouth is the best kind of promotion anyway. So
yeah. Now, but don't you think that doesn't see? But the thing I understand is, say like we have a movie site and they offer us $50 to say like Armageddon or the Armageddon 2, still Armageddon, Electric Boogaloo is the greatest movie of all time. But the problem is other people are going to watch it and go, this is terrible. This is bullshit. This movie sucked ass. And then isn't that going to wipe away whatever good we did or whatever we put in an algorithm? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Bisho, like if say like 5 critics get paid $50, but then 15 regular users who didn't get paid saw it and went, this movie sucks balls. Like,
well, you would think so, but maybe that's also why a lot of times, even with the Star Wars movies, and I know there may be some Star Wars fans in the audience, or may not be,
right?
But there was a guy who was going super hard on Twitter every day, threaded fucking tweets, talking about how great every little detail of Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi was amazing.
Yeah.
And then you find out that he's a staff writer for StarWars.com, and he was also he was interviewing Carrie Fisher, and he was on the red carpet, and it's like, this has to be it. Or even take Kevin Smith, right?
Okay.
This isn't an outright, pay to play thing.
No.
But before, when he was the nerdy guy, he was super critical of a lot of stuff, even if he was a fan. Now you see him and he's like crying over The Dark Knight Rises.
Like physically crying. Yeah, he literally cries.
Another example is Dead Meat. Dead Meat is a very popular horror critic on YouTube. They do a lot of good videos. I've seen them be very honest when they like things and don't like things.
Yeah.
But they were also featured in a cameo appearance, their show, in one of the Scream movies, like Scream 4 or 5. How quick do you think they're going to be to come out and shit on any new Scream movie coming out?
Yeah.
So it's not just monetary. It's not just, it's like there's this weird exchange that seems to happen.
Yeah. And I
must
agree
be more
with
prevalent than people want to
admit. It's not for the $50, right? And the thing that I always said about wrestling is, and even for the comic book people, in a lot of words, it's not that it's like the wrestlers. Like, I don't think that, people at Fightful or the Observer get a check. I just think they're incentivized in other ways to the point where they're never going to be critical because it might affect the perks that they're getting from access. Same thing, with me, with the comics or Star Wars, and even like some of these other projects or whatever. It's not money. It's not that you get a check for going Star Wars. The Osaka show is amazing, but if you love that lineage, you love it. They know that there's going to be a ton of people, just like in wrestling, who are going to fucking jam it down everybody's throats, not necessarily because they're getting paid, but because they love the property or they're connected to it in some way. So yeah, it's just interesting to see it in black and white. You know what I mean? And as Chuck has pointed out, Kevin Smith was an outspoken fan of the 2003 Daredevil, which is Ben Affleck's Daredevil, which, by the way, spoiler alert, if you see the director's cut, it's actually a much better movie. And I'm a Daredevil guy, so I'm going to say I like it, but I'm a Daredevil apologist, Bisho. So like, I like everything with Daredevil.
Right, but you're not best friends with, Ben Affleck.
No, we used to be tight, but we're like cousins. We're like second cousins.
Well, he used to shop at Fashionable Mail, and you like the Banana Republic.
Yeah,
so there's
used to shop at Fashionable Mail. He did used to shop at Fashionable Mail.
Now, you mentioned the reviewers washing each other out, and before I got lost in my ADD rant, I was going to say, maybe that's why we've seen so many very high critic scores coming out of private premieres. And then when audience scores hit, they're just fucking completely in the opposite direction.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about that because the Venice Film Festival is going on and a movie Sean and I are very excited about. We're going to bring up in the Patreon. But before we head on over to the Patreon, I did want to talk about this Jimmy Fallon story for a hot minute because I don't know how this is going to go in the next few days. It just came out tonight. So Rolling Stone did an expose about Jimmy Fallon and spoke to 50 people that used to work there. And apparently Jimmy Fallon is not that good a dude. That he's drunk a lot, he's surly. People that work there in high positions of authority say very inappropriate things. There's like one black person on staff, and someone was saying inappropriate things to that person. And when this came out earlier in the day, it was getting shared like by millions of people. And then Jimmy Fallon did a Zoom meeting about 3 hours ago before we went on the air, and basically apologized and said, "I'm embarrassed. I feel really bad." We've seen this before with talk shows. Ellen got caught doing this in certain regards. It kind of ruined her. But this got a lot of attention today. Now, obviously, none of us watched the show, but we all know who Jimmy Fallon is. I'm not really that surprised. I'm not. I don't think he's a bad. I never thought he was like an asshole or anything, but he's not funny. That's a shithole job. It's a dead medium. And everybody in that medium has the same political ideology, which is very strange to me. Shah, what do you think about this? Because he's like one of these guys who's considered a nicer guy, but apparently to work there is like a living nightmare, and people now have mental problems from being like abused from working there.
Well, I think there's a lot to it, and I don't know enough about him to comment too much on it, but it could be people trying to get paid. Could be future lawsuits if people are saying I'm traumatized from working there and I have this disorder and that from this. That could be a case. It could be people looking for attention. But I'm also not surprised.
Right.
I'm also not surprised that he would be drunk a lot because he kind of gives me that vibe. Like when I watch him on a show, if I've ever seen him, I've seen him quite a few times, and
yeah,
I could see that. Like he looks like he's kind of buzzed all the time. He looks a little off.
Yeah.
As far as how many black people work there, man, I hate that whole thing where we have to keep count of how many Mexicans and how many Koreans work here, and it's just I don't know, man. This is a minority speaking, so
right.
I don't know, man. It's.
Do you think it's a little? Do you think the real story is maybe not as nefarious, but also pretty shitty? Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe
I'm sure he's probably not a great person, but I think a lot of times people are reaching for other things that aren't necessarily there.
That's an excellent.
Like, I don't necessarily think he's like a racist. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't. 7 employees. Did you just see that? Did you guys just see that quote? Can you scroll up, P-Show? 7 employees. 7 former employees say their mental health was impacted and add it was commonplace to hear people joking about wanting to kill themselves.
Say joking. How many jobs have you worked at a
every job
where you're like, dude, man, I'm ready to kill myself?
Yeah,
like how many? I don't know, man. I used to manage a Starbucks where I feel like I walked in every day like that. I'm ready to kill myself, but I wasn't serious. Like it says joking. See, this is one of those things where I'm saying people are reaching for something that may not be there.
But
I don't know, man.
16 people though. 7 talked about that quote in specific.
Yeah,
2 former employees and 14 former employees.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot. I don't
know. It's weird. It's weird that they counted how many people said this. The whole thing is weird to me.
Now, before we wrap up the Patreon, quick thing here, B-Show. Is he going to be canceled for this? Do you think he gets fired or resigns or steps away? Look, it's a hiatus for the strike. So, that would seem sort of counterproductive. Or do you think this is he's just going to make a teary video when he comes back? But I'm really sorry, you guys. I'm like, so sorry. Guys, I'm like, really, really sorry. I'm so sorry. What do you think is going to happen?
Is he going to come out like Adam Sandler? I don't know, man. I always thought him to be. I mean, the thing that's enjoyable about Fallon is he looks like he's actually having fun as opposed to these other guys.
Well, that's because everybody's crying and everybody else wants to kill themselves.
He's the only one enjoying himself. But like the other hosts you watch, like Kimmel and those guys, they all they're trying to be above the room and they're so smug. It did look like Fallon was having a good time and trying to be fun, if not funny. So I always kind of gave him a pass at that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, this is really not a loss as far as TV because all these shows are dead anyway.
Yeah, there's no shows.
Like, who was it that was it Slave Cheeks who said Trevor Noah is going to replace him, like jokingly? Like,
yeah, a lot of people are saying like it's been known for years, like Chuck is saying, he's a huge drunk and he yells at people. And there's a story in there, by the way, this is a true story. He was drunk at work and he yelled at an employee holding cue cards, and Seinfeld was a guest. And when the show went in between commercials, Seinfeld forced him to apologize to the cue card person. Wow. I mean, I don't know, Shah. That seems very specific.
Yeah, but then again, not surprised, man. Most of these dudes that work in Hollywood are drunks.
Yeah, they're on something. Yeah.
Like power does that to you. I feel like we're humans. Like it turns you into a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So people that have been the center of attention for 15 years, that doesn't surprise me that he's an asshole. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of us would probably fall victim to that, and become assholes. Like I don't know. Yeah, I'll be the first to admit it. Like if you give me fucking millions of dollars, I can't promise that I would be a nice guy.
Yeah, there's gonna be people. I make people cry on the internet every day, apparently. So I'm not really this,
Like I hope I wouldn't be a piece of shit, but I can't guarantee you that because money is power and it changes people. We're humans. We change. It happens to everyone, but as soon as they get money or fame.
If he does have a drinking problem, I mean, drunk people, as we all know. People with drinking problems are.
And I'm not trying to give him a pass. Like I don't even like the guy. I don't even give a shit about Jimmy Fallon.
I'm ambivalent to him. I just think that medium is so dead. It's time to end all of that. Bill Maher said that, by the way. I know a lot of people don't like Bill Maher, but Bill Maher said that.
Real quick, them saying that one black person works on the staff. The Roots were with him. I mean,
They might have been talking about in the writing staff.
Yeah, but I'm saying who did Jay Leno bring the Roots out? Like I thought that was a dope moment when he made the Roots.
Well, Kevin Eubanks was the first black band leader in the history of the Tonight Show because of Jay Leno. Kevin Eubanks did the show for 25 years.
Was it? Oh yeah, the guitar guy.
Yeah. He's the first ever.
Dude,
He replaced a very famous person, Doc Severinsen. I think.
Yeah, but the Roots is still different because he's bringing in like a hip hop group and making that part of
but that's a group there. I think they were talking about more of the more prominent roles in terms of writing, producing.
Yeah,
it's
a big moment for like hip hop culture to be a part of the Tonight Show, basically. That's a big
deal. No, it was a big deal. Look, I remember. You guys aren't going to know this, but I remember. I know who the first hip hop artist ever was on the history of the Tonight Show. When Jay Leno had just taken over for Johnny Carson, he had Black Sheep on. And it was the first time a rap group was ever allowed on the Tonight Show, when Black Sheep, the group was very popular with the Choice Is Yours and all that stuff. But listen, I don't know. This just broke tonight. The apology just happened like an hour before we went to record. They had an emergency Zoom meeting with everybody who works there. And Jimmy Fallon got on the fucking Zoom meeting and basically said, I am mortified. I apologize. I'm so embarrassed. I am embarrassed for your families. I'm embarrassed for all of you. And but apparently there's a producer there, B Show, I think, who fostered this sort of culture there, and that person is still remaining.
And I think that was when they mentioned the one black person who was singled out. I think the quote was, "What's up with your hair?" or something like that. And it was like in response to it was racial.
Yeah, they wanted to touch their hair because the whites like to do that sometimes. But we're going to head over to the Patreon. We have a ton of movie stuff to get. So if you're thinking, oh, maybe I'll join the Patreon, I'm having a good time, it's a great time to join the Patreon. There's tons of stuff there. You have the full back catalog. We have so much fun there. And as many of the people in the chat know, that's really where we go off quite a bit in the Patreon. But we want to plug our friends. Let's plug Deathmatch Outlaws. Let's plug the Drew Yari Experience, as it's now known. The Cassette Classics 86 on YouTube. The Down Under Thundercast, of course, Don Tony. Necromaniacs Podcast. They just dropped an episode, I think, today. Shit, that I was in my feed. The Human Experience Podcast. There's a rumor that Ringsiders might be coming back. I just wanted to let people know, our friends in the UK, they might be coming back. I had a conversation with them this week. I just wanted to put that out there. And then, of course, we have Mojo and Dirk's Most Dastardly Show, The Garden of Doom. We have the Old Guy Metalcast, funkbetty.com. Look, it's hot as hell out right now, but the fall is coming. So you want to check out the fall line at funkbetty.com. MJW Games, Cherry Jesus on YouTube and his band Kaiser. We have a good friend Sam and the Red River Podcast and his band Playing Dead. The Bio Geeks, that's Fatty316, of course. The High Marks Podcast, the Midnight Mass Creature Cast, of course, the Weekly Detour with our dear friend Anthony Alston and Teddy, and Guns and Geeks Podcast. Shah, what's happening on Planet Mondo this week?
I made an appearance on Bob's Blu-ray on YouTube. He had a stream, which was like a tournament, a DVD tournament. So I was coming in third place, which would help me advance to the next round. But we had a tie, so I lost a tiebreaker. So I ended up in fourth place. But it was fun anyway. It was like a 2.5 hour live stream. You can still go watch it.
Yeah, didn't that just come out yesterday?
We did it on Tuesday.
Okay, I know it was in the last couple of days.
7 or 8 competitors. So
okay, yeah, because I might do it on my run tomorrow. I might check it out. And of course, B Show. What do you have on the B Show Brian channel?
I've not put anything up recently. bshowbrian.com. Go ahead, subscribe, hit the like notification button so you are aware of the next time I put a video up. But I took you guys' advice when you guys were, saying that everyone thinks their shit sucks, but you got to look at it every once in a while. I went back and watched a couple of the mini docs I did, and some of them were okay. Some were better than I remembered. And it made me want to make another one. So I think I'm going to work on another mini doc to put up in another month or two, and maybe just work on stuff like that when I can, when I have time. So just stay tuned, subscribe so you get the notification, and bshowbrian.com.
And people, if you can, like Shah said, please hit the likes. We're just sort of crawling onto YouTube here in the last few weeks. It's a very new venture for us, and it's a new venture for the show. And if you hit that likes, that'll help us out in the algorithm. And if you know people that like movies and films that you think would love to be a part of these kind of conversations, please share it with them. And we appreciate all the support. And of course, thank you to the many, many Patreons who keep the lights on in this place. And we're going to get ready to record your bonus show for the week. So thank you guys so much. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week on Spitball Media Podcast.
Peace.